Okay, now we're up to the second reading. Numbers chapter 19, verse 18. A ritually clean person shall take the hyssop and dip it into the water and sprinkle it on the tent and all the vessels and on the people who were in it and anyone who touched the bone, the slain person, the corpse, or the grave. A ritually clean person shall sprinkle on the unclean person on the third and seventh day, and he shall cleanse him on the seventh day, and he shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and he shall become ritually clean in the evening. If a person becomes unclean and does not cleanse himself, that soul shall be cut off from the congregation, for he has defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The sprinkling waters were not sprinkled upon them. He is unclean. So here we have a repetition. And this is one of those times where people are like, well, why is the Torah repeating itself? So, if the people who say J, E, P, and D, like the documentary hypothesis, like when, and then they'd say that there was an editor or many editors who had edited the whole Torah, and they stitched it together. Why wouldn't they edit this out? Why would they leave in this repetition? And on the other hand, if it's only one, if it was only God speaking to Moses Rabbeinu or Moses and Aaron, why is this a repetition in general? So what are we supposed to learn from this? This shall be for them as a perpetual statute. The one who sprinkles the sprinkling water shall wash his clothes, and the one who touches the sprinkling water shall be unclean until the evening. Whatever the unclean one touches shall become unclean, and anyone touching him shall be unclean until evening. Numbers chapter 20, verse 1. The entire congregation of the children of Israel arrived at the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people settled in Kadesh. Miriam died there and was buried there. So this is the first month. This would be Nisan, right? Because we say that Nisan is really the first month. So what year is this? If she died, she didn't die in the second year. So time has gone forward. We must already be in the year 38 or 39 or 40, because this is like towards the end of our time in the desert when she dies. She didn't die in the beginning. She didn't die in the first 2 years. The congregation had no water, so they assembled against Moses and Aaron. The people quarreled with Moses, and they said, if only we had died with the death of our brothers before the Lord. Why have you brought the congregation of the Lord to this desert so that we and our livestock should die there? I mean, this sounds like the complaints that we had before. Now, before was in the second year, because remember that whole story that we just read that led up to Korach and the spies. Wait a minute, this is in the second year. This is in the second year? When is this happening? When are these verses taking place? Okay, so why have you brought the congregation of the Lord to the desert so we and our livestock should die here? Why have you taken us out of Egypt to bring us to this evil place? It is not a place for seeds or for fig trees, grapevines, or pomegranate trees, and there is no water to drink. Moses and Aaron moved away from the assembly to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and they fell on their faces. Then the glory of the Lord appeared to them. So again, what was the response of Moses and Aaron? They didn't shush the crowd. They didn't tell them that they were to be quiet and that they were nasty people and that they were to treat them nicely and that they're only going to respond to people who treat them nicely. They didn't say those things. They fell on their faces and God appeared to them. They were humbled themselves. Okay, that is the second reading. I think I'm making my point.